Hello, everybody, and welcome to Religion Bite number 107, dated November 12th, 2020. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. This Religion Bite is entitled, We Have No Right to God's Grace or Mercy. And most of you already know by now that I am a pretty devout practicing Catholic, very into my faith. I attend Mass weekly and certainly do my best to commit to the church's teachings. Okay, I will admit I, am not 100% on the same page with the church on everything, but overall, we get along just fine. And this is the faith I was born and raised in, strayed away from, but am firmly back home. So as you would expect, in attending Mass weekly, certain gospel readings from the respective homilies stand out to me more than others. And now, one in particular from this past week focused on how we as human beings often feel that we are entitled to things from our Heavenly Father, when in fact, we're not. I'll read the gospel passage that I'm referring to, and if you'd like to read along, feel free. It is in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 17, verses 7 through 10, and it reads as follows. Would any of you say to your slave, who comes in from the field after plowing or shepherding sheep, come at once and sit down for a meal at table? Won't the master instead say to him, get my dinner ready and make yourself ready to serve me while I eat and drink? Then you may eat and drink. He won't thank the slave because he did what was told, will he? So you too, when you have done everything you were commanded to do, should say, we are slaves, undeserving of special praise. We have only done what was our duty. So, that gospel passage sends a very clear message that we as human beings, we humans, we mere mortals, okay, are not in any way entitled or deserving of or have a legal claim or right to the grace and mercy, from our Heavenly Father, okay? Our Heavenly Father bestows grace and mercy and forgiveness upon us according to his own standards and formulas. There is no specific code, no specific formula, okay? No specific map to obtaining the Father's grace, mercy, or forgiveness in any situation, okay? That's demonstrated by the fact that there are seemingly many good people out here who don't seem to receive any of the Father's mercy, grace, or forgiveness. And also some very bad people out here that seem to receive all three in abundance, okay? That proves, folks, that we humans don't get to dictate how our Heavenly Father operates, okay? He is sovereign over us at all times, in all situations. We cannot tell him, Father, I deserve grace here. I deserve mercy. I deserve forgiveness. I mean, we can tell him that. But what do you expect him to do in return? If he deems it necessary and proper, he will grant you those things. But if not, he won't. We human beings cannot adopt any rigid procedures for obtaining grace, mercy, and forgiveness from our Heavenly Father. I don't care how hard we work. I don't care how many hours we put in. I don't care how many good deeds we do or even bad deeds we do. Okay? There's nothing which automatically can confer upon us good things from our Heavenly Father. It might seem like there are, but there are not. And that's demonstrated by the examples I just gave you. Okay? We human beings, can try and try. And that's essentially what our Father expects us to do. He expects us to try and, of course, do good to others and to ourselves. Okay? He will certainly, see everything we do. And in all likelihood, in most circumstances, the better you treat others in general, he will probably send you many, many graces and mercies and blessings. Okay? Now if you do people wrong all the time, you probably won't see lots of graces, mercies, and blessings. Okay? Probably. The emphasis here in all these instances is probably. Okay? We humans are vested, with the duty to do our best to live godly lives as much as possible, with the hope of attaining our Father's graces, mercies, and forgiveness for our misdeeds. Okay? Goodness knows, as Romans 3:23 says, we, have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So working to obtain his mercy and forgiveness is something we strive for daily. But make no mistake about it, folks. We have no right to anything from our Heavenly Father. He doesn't need us. We are his creation that he can do with whatever he sees fit. And there's nothing we can do about it. Remember, he is sovereign. As he created us, he can destroy us. As he can reduce us to nothing, he can raise us to mighty, mighty heights. Okay? There is nothing, folks, that is beyond his ability to do. Okay? And one thing he wants to make known to us at all times, as evidence through the gospel, is that we are subject to him in his time for everything. And that includes graces and mercies and forgiveness. Okay? We don't have a right to any of those things. It's not like human law where if somebody wrongs you, you may have a legal remedy, okay, to even the score. Okay? It doesn't work that way with our Heavenly Father. Okay? We strive to do good every day. Okay? But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get a bonus in our check for doing so. He notices everything, but he doesn't want us to become spoiled and automatically expect blessings to come every time we do good. Similarly, although it might sound strange, every time when we do bad things doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be punished from him. Granted, like I said, he sees all right? But the Father doesn't want us to try to ever think that we know him, that he's predictable, and that he is going to automatically give this result, okay, for an action beforehand that we do. He doesn't operate that way. He will never let us think that we are a step ahead of him, because we're not, and we never will be. We have no right to anything from our Heavenly Father, okay? All that he does for us is from his own heart, from his abundant love for us that cannot be measured by any human mind, okay? The Father's love for us is so abundant that we could not comprehend it if we lived for 1,000 years, okay? And thus everything he does for us in a positive direction comes from that love. It is not because we are owed anything, and it is not because it is something that is ordered in any way, shape, or form. He owes us nothing. We owe him everything. And when we as human beings learn that and accept it, our relationship with our Heavenly Father will grow stronger, because we understand that he alone controls our destiny. All right? He controls our destiny, our every step that we take. Every step that we take belongs to him, and every future that we meet is something that he preordained. Okay? The moral of it all, folks, our Father owes us nothing, and that everything that comes from him is through his love for us, a love that no man and no force of this world or any other world can interfere with. All that he gives is because he chooses to, and most of the time we don't deserve it. So we thank our Heavenly Father for all of his graces, mercies, and blessings, and recognize that in no way was it due to us, but it came exclusively from his kindness and love. Thank you so much for listening to this Religion Bite. If you have any questions or controversies, please leave them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, I humbly invite you to do so. Okay? Take care, stay safe out there, and may God bless you in all that you do. Have a good day.